Take one. I'm Channing McCorston. I'm a chartered professional accountant by trade, but an innovator at heart. I've been in the container industry myself since 2008, but my family has trucked and handled containers since 1995. We had many potential customers enter our premises, and we've continually shooed them out the door until we realized that was silly and we should be selling these things. So in 2008, I was still finishing up my bachelor's degree in university, and my father actually was handling all aspects of the container guy, including coming up with the awesome name. And he figured if he sold 1 to 2 containers a month, that'd be a good side gig, and ended up selling 300 containers in his very first year. So he got everything rolling. And then after that, I spread my wings. I started a company where we were modifying shipping containers, and we actually went on to Dragon's Den. We got a deal, and shortly after that, I actually sold out my shares of that business and came back to the container guy. And given my business experience, I totally revamped the data flow, management information systems, and operating systems to assist my parents in helping track and trace all the sales, rentals, and deliveries of containers. So that there was a very difficult process, and because it's such a new industry, there's no out-of-the-box softwares to run this type of business. But once I had that all dialed in, I got bored and transferred over into the modifications department and really started to grow that side of the business. We got into mods a lot just through customer demand, but at the beginning stages, we still perform mods like farmers. We took dimensional steel and welded everything in place, framing kits, painted, a lot of time delays. As much as our customers were very happy with the products that we provided them, I knew that there's a better way to do the things that we're doing, and a quicker way, especially in northern climate like Canada, where you can only paint 6 months of the year outside. So I needed solutions that were pre-engineered, laser cut, folded, fit perfectly together, and install using self-tapping screws or rivets. So I knew I needed these kits, and all these kits, nothing was available. There's, especially because across the planet, labor's cheaper. So I had to bring on my own engineering department, and I even brought in my own programming department. So we've really been able to increase the time that it takes to both quote customers and finish the projects and deliver them. And a lot of that, we got to give credit to both the programming team and the engineering team and the marketing team, I guess. So we've developed planmycan.com. It's an awesome website. It's free software for users to select windows, doors, roll-up doors, vents, lock boxes, place them on any size of container exactly where they need to go and not where they can't. This allows the customer to come to us with a plan, and we can very quickly provide a turnaround with an estimate with the framing kits that we have developed in-house and have in stock, and now can get our customers' problems solved very, very efficiently. I started this YouTube channel to assist myself in training new staff. We're growing rapidly. We're bringing on new people all the time, and I don't want to be out there on the floor showing people how to install a man door or a roll-up door. So I really needed installation instructions to help myself train new people, bring on new people, and grow. And then also, because we're developing so many new products so quickly, our sales team is out of the loop. So we need a way to show our sales team all the products that we actually have. So when customers are calling our individual, the Container Guy locations, and getting those individual sales reps, they can accurately answer the customer's questions and provide them the right advice or feedback, or advise them of the proper product and the most updated product of what we have available here at the Container Guy. You know, this YouTube might actually be a negative in a sense that I'm training my competitors, but this is a young industry. I see a lot of people doing things the way that I did it 10 years ago, and in my opinion, you know, I had to do things the wrong way in order to learn, make mistakes, and figure out the right way, or a better way at least, to do things. So we're still learning. We're still a young company, and I fully plan on continuing to develop all products that we released and will release. And so as much as I might be training competition, at least I'm training them the right way, and I can see that the industry as a whole will develop faster and provide better solutions to people all across the planet, not just in Western Canada where we're located. The audience will benefit from this channel by seeing the structural integrity of these containers, learning about the structural reinforcement required to span certain gaps and distances, and for different windows, doors, overhead doors, or just full structural framing kits. So they're definitely going to learn about shipping containers, how strong they are, where they succeed, where they will fail, and then also just the insulation, the proper way to insulate a container. There's a right way and a wrong way, especially in Arctic and temperate climates. So you're going to learn, even through our industrial modifications, the right way to set your container home project up to succeed and to last over the long term. You'll also learn with steel stud framing rather than wood in containers will make a more healthy climate inside the structure depending on the use. So you don't want to be in something that's going to wick moisture, mold, mildew, which all potentially leads to health concerns down the line. So build something that you're proud of, and build something that's going to last. I understand that many of my followers are the container home following and want me to revert back and provide my insight towards that, and potentially know my opinion towards container homes. I feel like container homes are here to stay. It's a trend that can't be ignored, and so it needs to be steered in the right direction. Is it the cheapest option or the cheapest way to build a container home? I don't think so. Do I live in a container home? No. Do I want to build you a container home? No. I think you'd have to definitely find your own structural engineer and general contractor that's going to handle your own container build that's specific to your climate and your geotechnical reports. So I don't have time to get into that. I don't want to get into that, but I do feel like it's definitely a trend, and it's a cool trend. So if you like container homes you like the architecture of it, and you want to tackle a build as a hobby, I fully support people who are doing that. And if you have any questions, as always, leave them below any of our videos, and I'll do my best to respond and provide my personal opinion and valuable advice.
What is your goal with this YouTube channel?
I feel this YouTube channel is a necessity for the Container Guy to continue to grow and continue to learn, and there was a requirement for myself to bring on a full-time film crew that followed me along day by day as I performed all these industrial and commercial modifications, and edit them in a way that they are very concise and informative for the audience to watch, not waste your time, provide valuable insight information that allows you to make informed decisions when the both audience is performing their own modifications, and furthermore my internal staff and salespersons. The most simplest way for our audience to follow us along is to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you ring that notification bell. That's going to notify you exactly when new videos come out. Another way is to check us out at tcg.ca and go to our videos section, and in there will allow you to filter through the videos, find exactly what you're looking for, and get you on your way on your next container project. Our most popular accessories for shipping containers are the lockbox and vents. All used containers should have a lockbox, and you should ventilate your container if you are storing any hazardous materials in there, or if humidity and condensation is going to be an issue. The modifications that we perform the most are honestly, we problem solve. Customers come to us with issues, they come to us with a problem, and we provide a solution. And a lot of times that's hazardous material storage related. So we do a lot of secondary containment and all of the accessories, framing kits, and fenestrations that come along with those projects, electrical, explosion-proof electrical. So a lot of it's hazmat related. I don't know, we somehow became known to assist local businesses, mining companies, oil and gas firms through their issues and help them pass all of the regulations and appeasing the regulatory inspectors that are breathing down their neck. The craziest modification that we've performed, I guess the utility of it is crazy. We've both narrowed containers to go underground, and we're now actually cutting some containers in half, putting them, hoisting them underground, dragging them through long tunnels, and then putting the two halves back together to be utilized as work shacks or offices. So this special framing kit that we thought maybe would be a one-of, and it sure seems like there's a ton of demand for it. So that's a pretty crazy idea, and crazy that it works. The most difficult modification that we've done, or I guess call it engineering intensive, would be for the Ministry of Environment. We created a initial attack container that allowed 32 firefighters to quickly deploy to forest fires and include all of the equipment that they need to fight these fires on the ground. And so they came to us with a list of products that they need stored in the container. And with our modular interior systems and the way to strut line containers, we had to play Tetris in our 3D modeling software to fit everything inside this can. I thought it was impossible. My engineering department thought it was impossible, and somehow we made it work, and it was super impressive, and the customer was even more impressed. It's cool.
What are your thoughts on the container home industry?
My thoughts towards container homes are that it's a trend that's here to stay. It shouldn't be ignored. And so hopefully what I can do here in this channel is steer everyone in the right direction, or at least provide some value that assists people when tackling their next container home build. I myself do not want to build container homes for my audience. If you want me to do that, I can potentially, my framing kits could potentially be used, but one is going to have to definitely source their own structural engineer and general contractor if you're not doing it yourself, if you're looking to build yourself a home out of shipping containers. I understand that many of my followers are the container home following and want me to revert back and provide my insight towards that and potentially know my opinion towards container homes. I feel like container homes are here to stay. It's a trend that can't be ignored, and so it needs to be steered in the right direction. Is it the cheapest option or the cheapest way to build a container home? I don't think so. Do I live in a container home? No. Do I want to build you a container home? No. I think you'd have to definitely find your own structural engineer and general contractor that's going to handle your own container build that's specific to your climate and your geotechnical reports. So I don't have time to get into that. I don't want to get into that, but I do feel like it's definitely a trend, and it's a cool trend. So if you like container homes you like the architecture of it and you want to tackle a build as a hobby, I fully support people who are doing that. And if you have any questions, as always, leave them below any of our videos, and I'll do my best to respond and provide my personal opinion and valuable advice. The world is ready for an industry disruptive building material to change the way that we look at housing and manufacture homes. I feel the housing industry is a bit primitive or stuck in our ways in the way that we're doing it. There's tons of new technologies and developments, especially over the last few years, and someone just needs to put all of these materials together to make an amazing building envelope that works planet-wide with materials that can be sourced locally, reduce the shipping requirements for getting materials from one side of the earth to the other. And I don't know if shipping containers are a part of that construction material or just the method to transport the goods.
Why didn't you post this interview earlier?
Good question. I didn't post the interview right away because I think it would have felt weird. Although I knew I was qualified to answer these questions, with only 250 subs, I really felt like I needed to prove myself to my family and my friends and grow my audience on this platform first. Since the interview in 2021, I've learned with container homes, there's no one-size-fits-all method of construction that performs everywhere on the planet. Even if you just look at regular housing, houses look vastly different all across the planet, and container homes should be no different than that. Like climate zones, they play a huge role in the building envelope, among other things such as like architectural constraints, and that's gonna determine whether you insulate on the inside or the outside of the shipping container. And you can't be mixing and matching between interior insulation and exterior insulation without a full thermal break. I would consider building a container home now only because I feel a sense of responsibility to my audience. I also feel some of our new developments that we've come up with would drastically make container home construction a lot cheaper, and potentially even cheaper than traditional construction methods, which is a huge breakthrough. And this has kind of brought on a sense of responsibility to both myself and my team, my architects and engineers. We feel like we may have cracked the code to low-income housing, or the housing crisis anyway, where a lot of people potentially across the planet are already living in containers, but what they don't realize is they're living in an envelope that could be severely affecting their health. We have some really exciting projects in the pipeline. We have a collaboration with Hacksmith Industries, which is going to be awesome and coming out soon. And that is sponsored by Warner Brothers Discovery. So that's something very new to us in this channel, is dealing with influencer agreements and being sponsored. And then also, we hope to announce soon that we're going to be building a container home series. I hope you guys enjoyed those interviews. That was pretty cool for me to watch myself back in 2021, where I was at with 250 subscribers. That's pretty special that we've been able to grow this channel and grow our audience up to 100,000 subscribers. So we got our plaque in the mail. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you, but also from myself and from you guys, I'd like to extend a thank you to the Container Guy team. We got a huge team of architects, engineers, structural engineers, video crew, 3D people, and we even have a lawyer on staff now. So there's a lot of people in the background here, and this is the sum of a ton of hours of hard work and dedication. And so again, thank you to my team, and here's to 1 million. Hope you learned something.